Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of a rifle that I've owned since 1971 when I was 17 years old. My very first Magnum, which is the 300 H&H Magnum, made with an Enfield action, but made in America. Now how is it that you say a British company was made in America? Well, that had to do with World War I. The British could not keep up with production for their armed services, and the United States was not yet in the fight. So they outsourced to both Remington and Winchester to make the P-14 303 for the war effort in those plants. Both Remington and Winchester decided to expand those modifications to take it from the 303 and also add the 30-06 to the line. And a little known story is the Allied Expeditionary Force, more than 75% of those rifles were not the Springfield Armory 30-06, but actually 30-06 1917 based upon the Enfield action, hence the 1917. Now, Alvin York, the famous Alvin York, also used this rifle. He did not have a Springfield. He actually had one of these Enfield actions rifles that he got the Congressional Medal of Honor for, and we all know the rest. A little bit more about Remington and Winchester's entry into this type of rifle and what happened. Winchester made over 480,000 of these built upon the Enfield action that they actually improved upon. So did Remington. Remington made a little over 580,000. But it wasn't enough to keep up with production, so Remington partnered with a little-known Baldwin automotive or locomotive company out of Eddystone, Pennsylvania, to retool and make these rifles. And they actually made 1.2 million of these during that period of time. Now, as the war wound down, there was a lot of these military actions that were left over with both Remington, Eddystone, and Winchester, so they decided to go ahead and commercialize them and turn them over to the general public. So a lot of private gun makers got these actions, went ahead and sporterized them and sold them to the American public. During this period of time, a lot of these were rechambered for the 300 H&H Magnum. Now, the 300 H&H Magnum actually came from Holland & Holland Company, a great company out of Great Britain, founded in 1835, as primarily an African plains game type of cartridge that would shoot flat, shoot fast, hit hard, and was a very popular rifle in addition to the 375 H&H. So when the commercial, it was really easy to convert these actions to and be chambered for the 300 H&H. This particular rifle was made, actually sporterized, somewhere around the 1930s. A little bit more about the 300 H&H as a cartridge. It became very popular. As a matter of fact, it was the world champion at Camp Perry for long-range shooting, and was the very first 30 caliber cartridge that could exceed 3,000 feet per second. And it was very popular and came into production. Then the 300 Win Mag came along and it sort of waned. But you ask anybody that owns a 300 H&H and they'll tell you they love the cartridge, specifically for reloading, because it is very easy to reload. It uses the old 48-31 powder, and you fill the case, you put the bullet on it, shoots flat, shoots straight. Now, this particular rifle that I have here has obviously been customized. It's got a Safari-style zebra maple stock that was put on it at the time that I bought it. It also has the controlled feed action, not a push feed like today. The controlled feed is obviously more expensive to make, and you all know the Winchester Pre-64 Model 70 was a controlled feed action that, to reduce costs, they changed it to the push feed actions that we all see today. Well, this rifle has treated me well and killed a lot of game. This is going to be a two-part video. The first part is this history and this introduction. The second part will be shooting and a little bit more involved. But I want to show you the basic difference between the two cartridges of the 300 H&H and the 300 Win Mag. You can see that the 300 Win Mag is a little bit shorter, but has a little bit more powder capacity because of the sloping the shoulder that it has. It's a 30-degree shoulder, as opposed to the H&H, which is a long, gentle, sloping shoulder. Now the action for the 300 H&H is also a little bit longer. So one of the reasons it wasn't so popular is because you actually had to take your cheek off the stock when you cycled the action because it was so long. But if you look at the actual ballistics of these two calibers, you'll find out that they're almost identical. I own both of these rifles, and both of these cartridges, as you're seeing them, has a 150 grain bullet that sits atop. The 300 Win Mag shoots right around 3,275. The 300 H&H shoots right around 3,250 feet per second with the identical energy. But I do have to give the nod for accuracy to the 300 H&H, and that's why I use it quite a bit. I'll be talking to you a little bit more. Again, I hope you're safe under God's protection. If you like this video and want to see more, stay tuned for part 2 when I actually go out and shoot it and show you the accuracy of a rifle that was made in the 1930s. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of my future videos. Again, thanks for watching. Stay safe.